Hello and welcome back to another Compose tutorial video. So we're going to be going over state in this video. We're just going to start going into it. It's a fairly in-depth topic, but state is basically, state in regards to Compose is basically a value that is going to be updated or changed. So when the value is changed, we want the screen to change and also reflect that. So in order to do that, we need to use state. So we'll create one right here. So name equals remember, and then inside remember, I think let's see. Yes, inside remember we will do mutable state of, and then string. Okay, so there we go. You might have to do an import here as well, but that is what a stateful variable looks like. So we can actually see this in action when we have a text field. All right, and then the value of our text field is going to be name.value. All right, that's the string value of name. So, and then when the value of our text field changes, we want to update our state variable here. So name equals name.value. All right, so now we can go ahead and test that with the emulator here. So we're going to wait for that to build. All right. So there's our text field, and now we can start writing things here. But it's interesting though, because if we do not use a state variable and we just do text equals, there you go, and replace name.value with text, we're going to see what happens. So let's go ahead and rerun that now. There it is. All right. So now when we try entering, it doesn't actually update the value. The screen doesn't update. And so with Compose, we need to use stateful variables when we're updating data on the screen. So that's why state is very important and a very key part of Compose. So any data that we want to change or display changes of on the screen are going to need to be state variables. So that is why having text fields here, or excuse me, that is why having this stateful variable in our text field is so important, because that's how we can actually display the changes in our text field. So that's basically how state works. So going over a couple of other things here, we can do a couple others. Let's try is switched equals remember. And there's a few other things here. Mutable state of false. We're going to do a Boolean, and this is going to be our default value as well. So that's another thing is when we're creating a stateful variable, after we do remember, inside of these brackets, we need to add the mutable state of, and then the type, or specifically the default value. And when you provide a default value, then it can derive the type from that. So we have is switched, oh, excuse me, typo there, is switched, and instead of a text field here, we can use a switch. So is switch dot value, and we'll do the same thing here. So is switched equals, dot value equals it. All right. So now let's go ahead and run this. We're going to be using the switch here. All right. Just loaded. So we hit the switch and there we go. You can see it moves back and forth because we are updating this stateful variable. So that is basically how state works from a super basic introduction. In the next video, we're going to be going over state a little bit more in depth. We're going to be updating the screen a little bit more and doing some more things here with state. So I look forward to seeing you in the next one.